Don't look under the internet.
Hey, are we recording? Be like, yeah, and god damn it, right at fucking, was it
32 minutes and 30 seconds or some shit?
No, it was like 20.
It was like 24 seconds or some shit like that. Or 42, that's what it was.
I was between a certain gap, and then I lost that talent.
Yeah.
Welcome to Don't Look Under the Internet, everybody, where
we start you off with some information you need.
a couple talentless hacks. Podcast brought to you by us. Nobody.
This is just self-deprecation, the episode.
That's Jason.
Hello.
That's Doug.
Uh-huh.
And I'm...
Mike.
Depressed.
I'm...
Depressed mode over
I'm
here.
Johnny Bravo. Sexual predator.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, he kind of was. Let's be real.
We're trying to move away
Kind
from...
of a pervert, I'm going to say.
I mean, obviously, like...
The dude was nonstop horny. Like, there's got to be a time where you're just like, this is too horny.
It's the friction.
not for Johnny Bravo.
Not for Johnny. He got his ass kicked a lot for being such a buff dude, I will say.
Rightly so.
Yeah. That show was pretty fucking troubling.
Powerful women,
It did promote powerful women, and his best friend
But
was
only
a little
because
girl.
there was a chauvinistic dude there.
Yeah, I don't know. The more I look back at old Cartoon Network cartoons, the more I'm like, these are weird. Like fucking, what's his face? That Red Devil from Cow and Chicken who has the fat ass and
oh right, the devil.
He's just the devil. I never watched a show. I just
Cow and
remember
Chicken
him.
fucking slapped. I'm sorry, but like, I know how things are nowadays. But
Oh fucking
like,
this woke TV. Get out of here.
what?
We're not touching the word woke at all on this
Wait,
fucking
okay,
podcast.
I mean,
so
no,
let's
I'm
just
just saying, I still like the old shows, even if today they don't quite stand up. Like they're part of my childhood.
I think shows nowadays do stand up. I think you just have to find them. Like not all shows back then were a banger.
No.
Like you're gonna sit there and tell me Gumball ain't a banger or Chowder. That shit fucked.
I think what he's saying is that even though cartoons back in the day were a bit troubling when it came to content, it's our childhood and we didn't know any better.
Like, have you seen fucking like Ren and Stimpy ever?
That shit,
Never liked it.
That shit's fucking rated MA now.
Yeah.
It was Y7 when we were kids.
I will say, bring back cell animation.
Yep, I agree.
That's fair.
So,
Speaking
Diluti.
Yeah,
How?
no, that's fair.
Housekeeping.
We actually had a really good bird scooter with that whole discussion.
Yeah, my God, what is happening?
We have to actually not scooter the bird.
We can't scoot the
can't
bird.
Scoot, we can't scoot the bird. We have
God,
to,
the one time we set up a bird
house.
scooter, we have to clean the house.
Ha, I did this to you. We have 3 new patrons we want to shout out this week. You guys got us over our goal of 50.
Yeah. Oh, shit. We have so much shit to talk about right now. Fuck.
The audience, quick. The audience, they're making like low grumbling noises. I hear them.
You really need to help us out ahead of time.
It kind of sounds
You
like,
really need to prep us.
It kind of sounds like a goat moaning sexually.
Does it sound like this?
Redacted.
Because that's probably what it's going to sound like.
That ain't it, but it's close enough. So our 3 new patrons for the week here is Geist. What's up, Daddy?
It's the name of a fantastic
We
Browning
got-
song.
Yeah, that is very true. We have Shiru 4, not to be confused with Shiro
5.
5. Yes, you stole my dumb joke. Thanks.
Because I didn't see it coming.
And Tedmon Lee, Hitmon Lee's older retired uncle. Hey, a cat's down here.
There is a cat down
What's
here.
up, my guy?
I thought they came in and like decatted
I
the
forgot
basement.
he was here. I'm going to have to get rid of you in a minute here, aren't I? Unless you're going to be a good boy. We'll see. If he meows again, I'll kick him out. But yeah, thank you, Geist, Shiro 4, and Tedmon Lee. You guys fucking rock. You helped get us over our goal of 50 patrons. Thanks to you guys, we're buying a gosh dang dark box. A dark web box.
It's been a fucking minute, but a while ago I did set a stretch goal on Patreon for if
There's
we
a
get...
cat rubbing against my microphone.
Asshole.
You're going to get pink eye for sure,
His
right?
asshole is touching my microphone.
But no, on Patreon, I set a stretch goal of 50 patrons, and when we hit that goal, we promised we would go ahead and purchase a dark web mystery box. And now we have to. So
look into his rusty sheriff.
this is very distracting.
I know it's extremely.
I'll put him upstairs.
To be fair, the cat's asshole is more attractive than either of you.
Keep going.
Folks.
I'll be right back.
But yeah, so we are now going to go through these steps of purchasing and acquiring said dark web mystery box. When we do, we are going to be opening it in a location that is probably not in one of our homes because of everything that I've seen about these things. They're fucking disgusting.
Big disclaimer. Don't do this.
Do not do this. We are lucky enough to have an alley into this part of the internet where we ourselves don't actually have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Thank fucking God.
Know a guy that knows a guy that knows another guy.
Don't ask us for his information or contact because nope, none of that is going to happen. But just know that we are going to be receiving a dark web mystery box in. Honestly, I don't know how fucking long they would take to get to wherever they're going.
I don't know. It'll be.
Well, we have steps. We have to set up a PO box.
Yeah,
because I'm not sending that shit to my home address.
I think dude said he has a place for us, if I remember correctly. I gotta talk to him. But
okay.
That being said, basically what'll happen is once we choose a box, he'll get it for us and then
okay. So
get it shipped.
Essentially, we just have to talk to the guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, shit. That's easy then.
So I'm guessing about a week or two max, maybe more. I don't actually know. Don't quote me on any of that.
Okay. Well, either way, we are going to put things in motion to get this. We're going to see how it goes. If we get scammed and they just take our money and give us no box, fuck, that sucks. And I'm sorry, guys, but I don't think this is going to be like
all Patreon tiers.
Yeah. So if you see charges for more than you used to, no, we are just kidding.
Why are you guys naked all of a sudden?
Well,
you didn't have to say it out loud.
The nice thing about audio mediums, Mike, is that they don't have to know
Why are you doing that to Doug?
because it
Stop.
feels good for me.
He already said he put his fingers in someone's dick, and how am I going to pass that up?
You're not supposed to stretch that big.
My patients at the hospital might say otherwise.
That's one shitty and bloody. Oh, okay. Anyways, let's move on.
Let's move past all of that. But yes, Mike, now that you're back, we just got done telling everybody that couple weeks, probably maybe with the dark web box. We're not sure because we don't know how it works. We got to talk to Doug's guy about it.
Doug knows a guy.
Well, yeah, Doug's got all the connects.
Found an.
But yeah, we'll keep you guys updated on that. In the meantime, though, what the fuck are we doing today?
Well, I thought it had been too long since we had tried, summoning an old one into the basement.
Unfortunately, we got an outer god, but
And unfortunately, we couldn't get Loey here.
damn
It's
it.
an old one joke. Loey, if you're listening, you're old.
And we know he is. So
Undefined graphics, Mike Loey.
Zing.
Everyone go follow him. Get art from him.
yeah, please do that. Shameless plug. But yeah, no, we are going to do one of Jason's
This is probably
favorite.
aside from Azathoth, but I mean, I feel like Azathoth is just cheating because Azathoth is everything. So
Yeah,
like,
He's pretty cool. I did enjoy
he be
him.
that guy.
yeah. Outside of that,
He do be.
this one is my absolute fucking favorite in the entire Cthulhu mythos, and he goes by a very easy to pronounce name,
Super
Ted.
easy.
Ted.
just like all of the Cthulhu mythos. But his name is Nyarlathotep
I think I'm gonna just refer to him as Nyarla.
or Gnarly
Yeah, no,
Nurgle.
The first, the former.
Nyarla.
Sure.
Nyarlathotep.
Nyarlathotep.
As is
Mike, say it
tradition.
with us. Ready?
Nyarla-
1, 2, 3.
Nyarlathotep.
That was actually pretty
That
fucking
wasn't
spot
bad,
on.
yeah, it was-
If
You're learning.
If I parrot someone, I get it right. If it's just me trying to say Nyarlathotep, I can't do it. I need someone
Nyarlathotep.
Nar
No, fucking still the one. No.
Nyarlathotep.
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 Yep. There you go.
Nyarlathotep.
Nyarlathotep.
Is he a mummy?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Yes.
As is
Ask me what he is
classic-
again.
Is he a mummy?
Ask me. Well, a different thing.
Okay.
Because yes, he is.
Is he?
Yes.
Is he?
Yes.
No,
Egyptian?
Doug's right. Doug's right.
Everything you say, the answer will be yes.
Is he a chicken?
Yeah.
Could be.
Okay.
Probably.
Yeah, as is tradition with Cthulhu Corner. I didn't do jack shit this time.
Mike likes these weeks because he doesn't have to
I ain't
research.
done jack all. And it was a good sign.
And he also doesn't have to pronounce things like Nyarlathotep.
I just got to sit back in
Fun
my
thing,
new
though,
pink
Mike.
reclining chair. Like, listen to this. If you guys can hear this at home, listen to this. That's me reclined all the way back.
I just watched the fear in this
Back.
man's face as he fell backwards trying to prove a point.
Yeah, but I did it for the bit.
But the fun fact is, Mike, we're going to start quizzing your ass on this.
Oh, fuck. Should I stop? What are you drinking? What are you thinking? There's a bottle here and it's empty. Yeah.
It's Maker's Mark.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's Maker's Mark. So,
Maker's Mark. Drinking Maker's Mark. And Evan Williams.
Are
And
you-
also
are you-
a
it's
shilling?
Devin Williams.
hey, Mike, this isn't stalling or anything because that's not coming until like later.
Okay, so I'm
we're-
not getting quizzed immediately?
You need to
No.
listen, and we're not going to make it super hard.
Okay. No,
obviously, but we're going to ask you some things after maybe like 2 to 3,
Like 2 or 3
Cthulhu episodes.
deities, yeah. So at the end of this episode might be a good example of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then you're safe for the next like 2 to 3.
All right. Well, hit me. Tell me about this Nyarlathotep.
So, Nyarlathotep
I got it right.
is known to many by his epithet, the Crawling Chaos, which actually also shares a short story of Lovecraft's. But the funny thing is, he actually doesn't fucking appear in it. But his most well-known title is the Crawling Chaos.
Isn't that how Haster's was as well? He never really appeared. Or no, that was Azathoth. He never appeared. He just
Azathoth
mentioned it.
literally is mentioned like 3 times,
Yeah.
and that's it. Everything that's known about him has kind of been supposed or created around him. But yeah, this is so. Nyarlathotep and Azathoth are very, very, very close in multiple fucking ways, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But what is Nyarlathotep? Nyarlathotep is an outer god in the Cthulhu mythos. As you guys know, the mythos was created by H.P. Lovecraft, and Nyarlathotep made his first appearance in the prose poem Nyarlathotep, written in 1920. And funnily enough, he is the spawn of Azathoth. Doug, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I will. So there's a lot of ways that he actually differs from a lot of the deities that we talk about just in general here. So basically, the way he differs from the other deities is in the mythos is that most of the outer gods are exiled to the stars. So you've got Yog-Sothoth, you've got Azathoth. We'll definitely do a Yog-Sothoth episode at some point.
Fuck
here.
yes.
He's fucking awesome.
He's amazing.
And most of the great old ones are like either like sleeping or like in a dreamlike state. So you've got
What do you mean by exile to the stars? Like, I get
like
that they're in
not
space,
on
but
the planet.
can they?
They can't
just
come
not-
near the Milky Way galaxy.
Is there a reason why that we just get into later on?
Well, if you remember from our
Timeline.
fucking timeline episode,
You remember the Yacubian Cube that we talked about that like started the beginning of the universe?
A little bit, and that here on Earth,
Correct.
Supposedly,
there's 2 forces fighting for power on Earth, and then most of the other like outer gods are kind of like sitting back watching it happen.
It's like, think of it, if we want to put it in Magic the Gathering terms, think of the game type Emperor. You know the one I keep talking to you about, the 3v3, with, like the Emperors and Lieutenants and shit? Think of the outer gods as the Emperor. Like, you can't get to them until you've dealt with the rest.
Gotcha.
That's kind of what the outer gods are like. They sit back, they plan shit, and then they put it in motion, but they don't fucking lift a finger.
So is it not as much as they can't come to the Earth? It's just they have no reason
they
to.
won't
They're
come.
just
They
like,
won't.
Yeah, they don't have a reason to come.
Well,
I
it
mean-
depends on who, because some literally cannot, and they need an outside conduit to help get them there, which we will be covering today in this episode, because Nyarlathotep happens to be one of those conduits. But
he's actually a very prevalent conduit that actually, we'll just get into it.
yeah.
So like I said, Nyarlathotep, he's not like he frequently actually is walking the earth in the guise of a human being.
Yep.
Very different from what we're used to seeing. You have Cthulhu, this big great beast sleeping in the ocean, changes his size but doesn't change his form.
Mm-hmm.
You have all these other like little guys, like you've got your choo-choos and your fucking
Migos.
Shoggoths and like all these other weird beasts that are just like they're, little worker ants for the big boys controlling them. But
The Migos broke
Nyarla-
up, by the way. I'm pretty sure they're breaking up. I think it's Offset unfollowed
no one
Takeoff.
cares.
and
Literally,
he
not a
unfollowed them
damn
on
person.
Facebook.
my brain hurts.
All right. So
Damn it, Mike.
So usually Nyarla looks like a tall, slim, joyous man. But he has 1,000 other forms and manifestations, and many are reputed to be quite horrific, and sanity blasting is the quote that was used.
Yes.
Which makes sense completely. So most of the outer gods have their own cults serving them. Nyarlathotep, he seems to serve as he serves several cults, actually. And he takes care of their affairs and, the outer god's absence, going back to them not being around.
The hand of the king.
Honestly, yes. That's a fan-fucking-tastic way of putting this.
Yeah, literally, yeah. So most outer gods use strange alien languages, while he uses human languages and can easily pass for a human being if he chooses to do so. So finally, most of them are all power, yet evidently without a clear purpose or agenda, yet he seems to be deliberately deceptive and manipulative, and he uses propaganda to achieve his goals.
Fucking just like Disney, am I right?
Hey, there's a theory that the CEO of Disney is in fact an avatar of Nyarlathotep.
Are you serious?
Love
That's
that.
a fucking thing?
Yes.
Oh yeah, dude. That would explain how they can push out so much
It's
content.
definitely a fan fiction theory,
Yeah,
but it is a theory, and
It's Mickey Mouse.
Lovecraft, so it's
Is Mickey
technically all
Mouse
canon.
a Lovecraftian deity?
It's probably.
I don't know if
Is
Mickey
Mickey
Mouse is, but
Nyarlathotep?
Licky House, I feel.
Yeah. Okay, so in this regard, he's probably the most human-like among the outer gods. He enacts the will of them, or so to say. And he is their messenger, heart, and soul. So the immemorial figure of the deputy or the messenger of hidden and terrible powers. These quotes are just outlandish. I love them.
They're fantastic.
So he is also the servant of Azathoth, whose fitful spastic wishes he basically has to fulfill immediately.
Yep.
That's
Pause.
Yes.
Mike, do you know why Nyarlathotep has to blindly fill Azathoth's wishes?
I'm assuming because everything is in Azathoth's dreams, and if he doesn't, then Azathoth will be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I think that's about right. Good job, Mike. Let's get some positive reinforcement going with this.
I
And then
do like this. It's
I have a negative one, especially if you fuck it up. So,
Hell yeah.
Am I
so
like-
question one cleared. Good
Am
job,
I like
bud.
your Pavlov's dog here?
Yes.
Just, here's your treat.
You're getting the Pavlovian treatment.
All right, so moving forward, unlike the outer gods, spreading madness is more important and enjoyable than death and destruction to Nyarlathotep. So some suggest that he will be the one that destroys the human race and possibly the earth as well moving forward in time. Great stuff.
Can't you say that about all of them? Essentially,
No, actually.
No, not everyone's there. Like Cthulhu's not there to destroy the earth.
He can't.
He wants to.
He wants to so fucking bad, but he cannot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Azathoth, same thing. He literally cannot, because if he does, that means he's woken up and nothing exists anymore. Like there's these deities sound so fucking powerful on paper, but then you find these things that just prevent them.
they're
from
paper
doing
tigers.
Exactly. That's exactly what they fucking are.
Glass cannon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're glass cannons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so so that being said, will he destroy the earth? Like, what actually is his role in the mythos, Jason?
So, as Doug said, Nyarlathotep is the messenger, heart, and soul of the outer gods. Now, if you remember from the timeline, we kind of outlined the different classes of deities in the Cthulhu mythos. Outer gods being the most alien, but by far the most powerful. And so Nyarlathotep himself is an outer god, which means he's imbued with this massive amount of power. What he chooses to do with that power is actually really funny to me, and it's to fuck with people. He thinks that we are so very funny, and very easy to manipulate.
He's
but,
not
I mean,
wrong.
He's not at all.
Absolutely.
So his role in the mythos is kind of like the purveyor of the wishes of all of the other deities inside the mythos. Everybody that ranks above him, which actually is not too many.
It's not actually. I can show you a family tree, if you will, but I'm gonna go over in a little bit. So
I'm literally like, so all he exists for is to basically take the wishes of Azathoth and make sure they happen. He sometimes, if it lines up with his own like little agenda, he'll help out some other outer gods, maybe even some great old ones. Although he's not the biggest fan of the great old ones, for a very good fucking reason. But again,
which is funny because like you were saying with his rank, literally there's only 3 other deities that rank higher
Above
than
him.
him.
Yeah.
Well, actually 2 of them are on the same level and 1 is higher, which is Azathoth.
And that's the only reason being is because he's technically outside of reality. If Azathoth were inside reality, Nyarlathotep would be right on par with pretty much everybody else.
And spoiler, it's his dad.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of, that's dude. Literally, his only role is to is like think of the dude from 300 that came over to say like
The god?
hey-
Xerxes?
No, the messenger of the god.
Oh, and they kicked him into the fucking pit?
Yes, that's Nyarlathotep, and Xerxes would be Azathoth.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's kind of his whole role. It's to make sure everyone gets the word. To put it in Lovecraftian terms, one of his roles is to help spread the awareness of Azathoth. He does help tend to like the cult of Azathoth when Azathoth can't tend to it himself, which he usually fucking doesn't. So he's heavily
Don't start
heavily
a cult
involved.
if you're not going to finish it, you know?
Well, see, that's the thing.
Buy that Flavor Aid. Go to the compound.
So let's move into his lineage, right?
Yes.
So that being said, Azathoth is his father.
Fasha.
Farger?
And those 2 other beings that are on his level, like I mentioned, is the Nameless Mist and the Darkness.
Yep.
Man, these guys have the coolest nicknames.
They
I'm
really
not
do.
going to go into who they are, but I am going to touch on the lineage a little bit. So the Nameless Mist, their offspring is Yog-Sothoth, which is now Nyarlathotep's nephew.
Yes.
And also the Darkness, their offspring is the Black Goat.
Which is Shub-Niggurath.
Yes. So you have this
Who's like
weird.
she's like the mother of all of these deities.
Yeah. It's funny though because a lot of them don't have like a mother per se. They kind of just spawn.
It's
from
like
them.
Zeus, where like Athena, like he removes his rib and like there's Athena.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty much what Azathoth is.
Jesus.
Yeah, where he removed his rib and a rabbit came
I
out
mean,
of it.
Mary.
No, the fucking Adam and Eve. God took Adam's rib and made Eve.
God?
Yeah.
The God. Okay.
So God.
yeah, they're all the same story. It's whatever.
Oh man, if we were talking about Azathoth right now, I just found out some fucking information, but I will belay that.
So yeah, now we know his siblings and his nephew, and then we have what doesn't have a whole lot of information surrounding them, but they're called the Million Favored Ones, and these are Nyarlathotep's children.
They're so cool sounding.
I know,
Like-
right? Just wait until I start reading this other shit.
It's not like Cthugga and the fire vampires.
So the Million Favored Ones are not technically his children, but they are. So these are the millions of cult followers that Nyarlathotep has on his own, which he kind of doesn't give a shit about.
Not even close.
They are just there purely to just cause chaos on the world.
Well, you both saw this when you guys played the very small amount of Masks of Nyarlathotep.
Yeah.
I didn't play that.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, you did.
I shot you.
Yep.
Oh, that's what that's
You
called.
played the entire Peru portion.
I didn't know that's what it's called. I thought that was like,
It's Call of Cthulhu. The campaign is famously known as Masks of Nyarlathotep.
gotcha.
Okay, so we
you
have.
did shoot me,
I
you
did.
asshole.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you guys
but-
actually also ran into either 6 or 7 versions of Nyarlathotep in that.
Oh, I am
small...
not surprised at all.
Hell yeah. Was it a Fisher Boat guy that I
I'm not
created?
going to say shit because I still fully plan on picking that back up.
Let's do that. All right. So inside of this cult, there are 4 specific people who I thought were just super badass and deserved a shout out. And these are called the 4 Horsemen of Nyarlathotep.
So badass.
Super cool. And these guys actually spawned from a comic, so they're not classic Lovecraftian, but by golly, they are fucking dope, and their backstories are still pretty
What
cool.
comic? Do you know it?
It's called The Fall of Cthulhu.
I am going to have to pick this up.
Yep.
We all are.
Trust me, I've been trying to find it on eBay, and it is not easy.
Dang.
So we'll
Hey,
talk
patrons,
after this.
if you guys have a fucking line on the Fall of Cthulhu comics, we want all of
There's
them.
an omnibus that you can download, but I hate fucking downloading comics. I'd rather own this one, but regardless. Moving forward, so the 4 Horsemen, you've got Sisyphus, not Sisyphus.
Not the. Hey, it's all back to episode 1.
Yeah, right.
Look at that.
Sisyphus, the Scourge of Atlantis. So we have Sisyphus, the masked mute of Gith, the Father of Pestilence, and the Champion of Damnation. So these are just like weird nickname
Champion
titles.
of Damnation.
The titles that Lovecraft comes up with are the fucking best.
Right.
WWE Champion of Damnation.
So then we have
It's gotta be Kane.
I knew that was coming.
Wandering out.
all I'm hearing is anyways. So the next one is Gurnuk of Volknost.
Go ahead and repeat that back to us.
Gurnuk of Volknost.
Yeah, you're pretty close.
You've practiced Russian, so
And they're known as the Devourer of the Royal Corpse of Thulin. It is
Corpse?
This thing is a disembodied essence in an empty box, and whoever opens it will be possessed by the essence and transformed into a corpse-eating monster.
zombies.
Yeah, it's really weird. Very just bizarre all around. Then you have the Masked Mute, known as the Sister of the Lost Abyss. And she manifests herself as a young girl covered in endless masks, which express her current emotions. And it is said that her true face could kill even the greatest beings in the Dreamlands. If I remember correctly,
we cannot touch on the Dreamlands.
the Dreamlands is just this weird realm between when you're asleep and dying.
It's like purgatory, kind of.
It's like if
upside
you
down.
take DMT, that's where you go. That's Dreamlands.
There's a lot of
I have done that. You're absolutely right. I
Mike
am
and
known to
his
make DMT.
addiction. Yeah, the lab's on the other side of the wall.
Yeah.
And then we have Gith.
I'm sorry. I don't want to. I'm sorry. These are his.
These are the four horsemen.
The four horsemen, and they're related
They're
to
just- they're-
Nyarlathotep. How again?
They're his children.
They're his
quote
children.
Unquote,
Okay.
Hard quotes.
Hard
being-
quote unquote. Yeah.
And then we have Gith, known as the Father of Pestilence. It is an irrational force found in the mountain of Kundail. That's definitely pronounced wrong. Also in the Dreamlands, and under certain rites, which include vomiting one's own soul and wearing a jackal's head, as well as undergoing brain surgery and bonding using the color out of space, it can possess a human.
That's a movie now.
Well, no, the color out of space is an entity, but it's also yes.
Its appearance is that of a mummy, from which purple and blue fire appears where the eyes and mouth should be.
Dope.
Sound familiar? You guessed it. Kind of looks like Nyarlathotep.
Woo! Big reveal.
Oh yeah, did we ever describe his most like
Nope.
prevalent
No.
form, or even his fucking like some of his names?
Nope.
Let me
Finish this, I'll cover it.
I have two more people to talk about. We got Nyarla's son Uganach.
You did that.
Uganach.
You made that sound on last week's episode.
I don't know how to pronounce two A's and a CH. So, but so his son, Nyarlathotep, he likes to just like procreate sometimes.
He do be fucking.
Nah, he fucks.
But he has a reason to fuck.
This guy fucks.
He will fuck some poor soul, spit a baby into them. The baby will come out and look just god awful. Tentacle for a head, almost looks like a tongue.
Sounds like babies in general. Am I right? Right there. Right there. Come on.
Yeah. You know me, don't condone children. But yeah, these things, they just look awful. And to be honest, we actually don't know a whole lot about his sons or daughters. But we do know that they're a gate.
Yep. Well,
But we don't know what that gate is for, and that's where the theory of the ending of the earth and the people.
I will go over that a little bit more.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So
I got that. Don't worry.
And then a lesser known daughter that he has is actually Lilith.
Oh,
From
Like
magic.
the Lilith, like the biblical Lilith.
Lilith.
I don't know. I've never read the Bible.
What do you mean?
Who the fuck is Lilith?
Lilith is like the mother of
I don't
death,
remember.
basically. Like,
It's fuck. Are you
I-
gonna make me look this up?
no, we're not doing an episode on Lilith. Just know that if you know who she is, you know. So Lilith, his daughter, ends up with one of the other outer gods, Nodens, and they do their whole thing, which I'm not going to get into.
That's another epic
All
of a story.
of the names for everything you just said could be modern, like death metal band names, and I would not second guess you.
One of these days we'll cover the Cthulhu metal bands. Like Bow Down.
I do in this one, actually.
Oh, fuck yes. Hell yeah.
Not a whole lot of them, actually.
That's
It's actually
fine.
none of them except for one. I don't cover anything. We'll just go over it now. All right. But yeah, so names, forms, you name it.
Yes.
Jason, what do you got?
We actually, something I meant to touch on earlier. So the most well-known form that Nyarlathotep takes is also, it also holds the name, the God of the Bloody Tongue.
Again,
This is also, well, you guys did not run into this. You guys ran into the beginnings of this in Call of Cthulhu. You definitely met a few of their cultists, though. One of the things about the cultists of the Bloody Tongue that anyone with rank in this cult, basically, they're signified by something you wear around your head, different colors, and there's a little pendant right here, and it's just a severed human tongue, and you wear it on your face, and you summon avatars of Nyarlathotep. Now that could be hundreds of different things. Here are the 4 most popular titles held by Nyarlathotep. The first one we've already covered, which is the Crawling Chaos, but you also have the Haunter in the Dark, Stalker Among the Stars, and the God of the Bloody Tongue. Keep in mind, there are literally 995 other names for Nyarlathotep.
Yeah, there's so many.
Jesus.
There's exactly 999 like masks or forms, which is why whenever you hear someone refer to the 1,000 masks of Nyarlathotep, they're referring to the 1,000 forms he has.
Interesting.
But speaking of those forms,
Is one of them an egg?
Probably.
you know,
Because I'm just saying, 1,000 sounds like a lot, but I could list
Actually-
off 1,000 things that he probably isn't. Is he a lamp? That'd be pretty stupid.
yes, actually,
That's really stupid.
that's one of them.
That's really dumb to turn
Well,
into.
you need 1,000, man. You start to run out of cool shit at like 50. Like,
I already chose giant ape. What else is there? All right, I'm a headlamp.
Plank of wood.
but yeah, he's got a ton of different names. There's human.
That's when planking started, is because he came back as a plank of wood.
I will say he cheats because a lot of his 1,000 masks are just human names that he has famously like imitated.
I was thinking there were going to be like reskins where he's like egg.
No, there
and then
is.
blue egg.
Literally, there's
Egg
like
with
4
dots.
titles that contain the words God, Bloody, and Tongue in them, just with different adjectives.
Cheater.
and
You
shit.
hear
But
me, Nyarlathotep? You're a cheater.
Houdini.
Harry Houdini is an avatar, technically.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
no, we don't know if he is, but
He met him.
he met and got kind of trapped by Nyarlathotep. In the
Great
story,
story.
it was a fucking
Yeah.
That's the story I had you guys read before we played,
Yes.
Which he for
which
sure
he
did do.
definitely
I
read.
did read that.
100%.
It wasn't even a read. It was like 3
was
YouTube
l-
videos.
And it was literally like 2.5 pages total.
I read it.
Like, but okay, before I go over his forms, let's actually go over his where he came from, like where Lovecraft came up with this idea, because as far as we know, it's a creation of Lovecraft's mind. We can't prove or disprove if he is or is not real, and Lovecraft did a very good job at making sure of that. But back in 1920, Lovecraft wrote a prose poem by the name of Nyarlathotep. Before that, you don't hear that name ever in his writings. But he goes on. There was somebody interviewed him about it, and basically,
Wasn't it? Didn't it come out posthumous or something as well?
yeah,
Like, okay.
yeah, it came out posthumously. But Lovecraft describes his creation of Nyarlathotep as he had a dream about him, and he describes the dream he had as quote unquote the most realistic and horrible nightmare I have experienced since the age of 10.
And I can't describe it.
No, you cannot.
Indescribable.
Yeah, indescribable. And that was kind of the basis for everything. Now, in the Mythos, his origin story is obviously a little bit more sinister and detailed.
He's more played up like a villain.
Oh, yes.
To put this into perspective just a little bit, he is like damn near the antagonist in everything that has to do with Call of Cthulhu nowadays.
And history.
Yeah.
Like, there are arguments that Nyarlathotep was influencing Hitler. Stalin. And like every terrible, horrible fucking thing that's happened on Earth, you could basically make the argument that Nyarlathotep was sowing madness to help that happen.
Basically puppet mastering in the background.
That's his favorite fucking thing to do, is just fuck with us. So where the fuck did he start? In the Mythos, again, from the poem, 1920s, called Nyarlathotep, he is described as a tall, swarthy man who resembles an Egyptian pharaoh. And
Going
this
back
one,
to your mummy thing.
We are the mummy.
yes.
Power of Ra! I have to yell it every time.
So in this one, he gains the title of the Black Pharaoh, and he basically comes to Egypt, and he sows like images of destruction in people's minds, just to kind of like draw them in, and he creates a crowd, and from that crowd, he produces all of these like weird alchemical scientific experiments that are just like mind blowing. And from this crowd, he usually draws like a solid third to half of them to basically follow them, and then he goes to the next city. And that's kind of the story, is about this guy that basically sees him and gets enthralled by him and describes what happens, and then all of a sudden he's a part of Nyarlathotep's army. This is how he gains followers. This is how he starts
slowly over time.
Yes, slowly over time, he basically creates these demonstrations that are incredible and amazing and just like amazes you to where you want to actually see where he's going next. And then slowly, without you knowing it, you are becoming awakened to Azathoth.
So he's the first like
He's the Pied Piper.
yeah, okay, yeah, that works,
he's,
sure.
he's the Pied Piper, but for people.
I was
He's
gonna
like
go
a
more
ringleader of a circus.
I was gonna go more like Ponzi scheme, like comes
whatever
to your
you wanna
town.
call it.
Except his followers don't make any money. So.
Yeah, comes to town, shows you the miracle scrub-a-dub, and then leaves. And then that one guy out of the town follows him, like, that scrub-a-dub dude know how to clean wine out of my white T-shirt.
It do be cleaning though.
Yeah, and then they go to the next town and they do the same thing. And he gets a guy from that town.
So, I mean, yeah, that's essentially, so it's very appropriate for this to be his entrance into the Cthulhu mythos as just this Egyptian, this black pharaoh that's garnering an audience and like gathering his army, I guess. And this is actually a super fucking short story. This is literally, it's like a page, maybe. So after that, we move ahead to another story called The Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath. He again appears in this one as a pharaoh. I'm not going to go over a lot of the context of these stories because it's not a lot.
Okay.
Lovecraft, indescribable, no details.
I could describe the horror. Then why are you here?
Because it's indescribable. So yeah, after the Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath, we go ahead to 1936, where such a good year, especially for the story The Haunter of the Dark. This is where he changes, and this is God, always back to masks. This is where he actually appears as a tentacled bat monster living inside the steeple of the Church of the Starry Wisdom, like one of their churches, and that's his manifestation of Nyarlathotep, is this fucking tentacle bat.
Yeah, that'd be pretty frightening.
In the story The Rats in the Walls, he's mentioned as a faceless god in the caverns of the Earth's center. Like, he started off as just this very sinister-looking Egyptian pharaoh that seemingly came back from the dead to try and like raise an army, more or less. And now he's a faceless god that lives in the Earth's mantle. Like,
what a promotion.
And it just gets weirder and weirder and weirder from there. His forms. Let's go into that now that we're here.
Please do.
So you've got the God of the Bloody Tongue. That's his most prevalent one. And this is a fucking like 400 to 500 foot high, just monstrous creation. Like, this is the definition of an outer god. This is his, I am here to show you that you are insignificant and I can kill all of you without even thinking about it form. There's a ton of, like, I've seen a ton of pictures of people like drawing what that might look like, of him literally like
towering,
palming the pyramids of Giza and like just walking around, like that kind of stuff. There's a couple other pictures, and he can, just like Cthulhu, he can modify his size as well.
Yeah.
So you'll also see this avatar as like a much smaller kind of like humanoid sized person. Another form would be the Faceless God, which is the one that from the rats in the walls, where he lives at the center of the earth and just terrorizes humanity from afar. One of my favorite ones that I actually didn't know before researching this. Did you guys see the movie Bye Bye Man?
No.
Can't say I have.
Apparently Nyarlathotep is him. Apparently that is Nyarlathotep. Didn't fucking know that, so sorry to step on one of your
that's
things,
actually
but
not even one I had written down. So
I did not know that. Another one of his forms is the High Priest, not to be described. Sounds kind of like Voldemort, if I'm if I'm being
You
honest.
shall not be described.
do not describe me, please.
But then we get back to the Black Pharaoh once again, and the very last one I wanted to mention was a bloated woman. The reason I wanted to mention that is it's directly from like Chinese
That's
history and
literally what
culture.
Sisyphus's form looks like.
So we're going, yes, that might be the name of it. Most people describe it as the bloated woman or the dark woman or just like, or the woman. But this is an important one because you can also see this entity with a different name, slightly different description, but you can absolutely find this in Chinese culture and history. Yep, there she is.
Ooh. Looks like from
That thing
Constantine,
from them
City of
thing and
Demons.
them-
So,
I thought we were going on the same path. And we definitely weren't. I thought you were gonna say the fucking don't be or scary stories to tell in the dark.
Oh, that creepy thing in the hospital?
Yeah. Honestly, there's
it could be
there's
a
a very loose
connection.
argument to be made there.
right.
But so all of this shit comes from literally 4 fucking stories and 2 sonnets. He was only written about in Lovecraft's work 6 times, and no detail was ever fucking given about him. Everything that we know about Nyarlathotep mostly comes from the writings of Lovecraft, yes, which are, as we know,
The foundation.
that's the foundation, but they were built off of that and through, I don't know, hundreds of fucking authors to date. The wiki, like just the Cthulhu Mythos Wikipedia or wiki has a fuckload of information about it. There's also something that
There's a French wiki that apparently in France, like this is like the rage.
really.
Yeah, because I was like a bunch of there's a bunch of deities and older outer gods and other ones like that. They have literal like French to English translations on their wiki pages that are like really hard to like read through because they're translated really poorly.
Yeah.
And you can only find the descriptions on this like French like website, which I thought was really funny. Because it's just something you don't think about.
No,
like, at all.
no, not at all. But yeah, the majority of what you're going to learn about him come from like the more modern writers and a lot of shit in pop culture. Before we talk about the fun stuff, the one last thing I wanted to touch on is we've mentioned a couple of things about his destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's prophesied to basically destroy the earth. And honestly, I abso-fucking-lutely agree with that because let's look at this. For anybody that has read anything, if you've read the Nyarlathotep prose poem, if you've read Trapped with the Pharaohs, which is a short story by Lovecraft, which goes over a lot about what Nyarlathotep is about, there's a bunch of stories that you can read that give you a lot of information. So we've covered one of them being Fulfill the Sleeping Wishes of Azathoth.
As is tradition.
The other one that we covered is whatever he fucking wants.
He loves spreading
Chaos.
madness.
Madness for the
Legs.
sake of madness.
Yeah. He
Although-
doesn't like killing. He doesn't really care to kill you. He wants you to go fucking insane.
Yep.
He wants you to be at the brink
And do it
of-
yourself.
Yeah.
That's essentially what it is. Because the end of the line for him, because remember, he's like a substitute Azathoth, like cult of Azathoth leader, more or less. Like when
Yeah.
Azathoth can't, he's there to do it there. So the majority of the time, the cultists that are involved with him know that the end of the line for them is a horrible, horrible death.
Yeah, if Azathoth cult members meet him, they assume they're gonna die pretty quickly.
Yep. And horribly. But the fucked up thing is they want that.
Yeah. They
So
would prefer that.
whatever.
It's almost my
Yes, just watch the fucking prison episode of Death Clock or Metalocalypse and you got it. Another goal, aside from whatever he wants, is to help the other outer gods with their goals. Especially because So one of the things I found very interesting about this is anytime he operates on Earth, we can kind of assume that he's trying to fulfill the wishes of another deity, right? Or he's bored.
Yeah,
one of the two.
literally. Like the only two options.
Right. He's making moves that won't come to fruition for like thousands of years, right? There is no possible way that we as humans could understand why he's making the choices he's making, what end he's making the choices, and like what's gonna fucking come of it. There's no possible way we can predict any of that. So with those out of the way, the big fucking reason that Nyarlathotep exists is very simply to summon the outer gods to Earth. Mm-hmm. That is his whole purpose. His whole end game is to make sure Azathoth, fucking Shub-Niggurath, like all of the heavy fucking hitters make it to Earth so they can wipe it the fuck out, collect the Yacubian Cube, bring it to Azathoth, and I'm guessing to create another reality.
And you know how they think he's gonna do it?
His children.
His chitlins.
His childrens.
He's gonna fucks you.
He's gonna fuck you.
You're gonna spit out a baby and probably die during the process.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing that I didn't mention, because I knew you'd probably talk about this, is how he's having a lot of trouble doing this because he's basically the bitch of the gods. Yes. Since it takes him so long to get around to doing anything because he's always, basically slaving away for someone else. He's, that's why he's going and fucking these people and trying to make his children grow. Because apparently, once they hit 1,000 meters tall or like large or something like that, they're supposed to open a portal, but they like never make it past like 3 or something.
Well, that's because all of you wonderful investigators, while playing Call of Cthulhu, managed to keep that at bay.
Yeah. If you see giant tongue starfish thing, man, walking down the hallway,
put your head between your legs and try to suck your own dick because you're about to get fucked.
Yeah, or you shoot it with a shotgun.
Yeah, I prefer the latter.
So
I don't know if that's going to be very effective, though.
But yeah, it's a fun time. Yeah, it's a good time. Everything's fine.
He's so much fun. Like he literally just fucks with people. Like he comes to Earth. So we didn't mention this either. Here, this is his MO. He basically shows up in either a human form or humanoid form in the case of like the Black Pharaoh.
And it's funny because I'm pretty sure didn't Cthulhu and Cthugga, weren't they the first ones on Earth?
Cthugga was the first one here, and then Cthulhu came, or no, it was Cthugga, and it was the Elder Things, and they fought the fire vampires with the Elder Things. And then Cthulhu came down and just leveled like a whole fucking nation.
So as far as outer gods go and elder ones, you've got Cthugga Cthulhu showing up on Earth, and then Nyarlathotep going,
no,
that looks kind of fun. I think I'm gonna go down there and fuck with everyone.
Yeah,
except he didn't really have a choice. Azathoth was like, yo, get the fuck down there, like shit's going down, like, we need that cube.
Azathoth and Cthulhu hate each other.
Cube.
Yeah, so
there's like the demon child. He like,
or if you're looking at the tarot version, he's the high priest.
Yeah, there you go.
Because he technically is the priest.
Yeah, no, he is the high priest.
The whole fucking pantheon. Yeah. But yeah, that's it for his whole destiny and whatnot.
And then we'll kind of end this off on just like a fun pop culture kind of like reference list.
There's so many.
Seriously, I'm gonna blow through these, but like there's a ton of fun things. So in comic books, you've got the Fall of Cthulhu, which I mentioned earlier. You've got the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen comic. You've got Lovely Lovecraft,
What's
the
he
comic.
in that?
Nyarlathotep.
He is he is an emissary sent from Yugoth to negotiate a truce with whoever Prospero of the Blazing World is. I have never read it.
Which, fun fact, the current resting place of Nyarlathotep is thought to be on Yuggoth.
Yeah, yes.
What's Yuggoth?
It's a planet. It's full of terrible, horrible things.
Awesome.
Imagine whatever his asshole looks like, and that's probably what Yuggoth looks like.
Yeah.
And then my favorite thing on this comic book list is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where Loki summons him. And basically, in the comic, he's referred to as Terror of Souls, Ripper of Flesh. I didn't know TMNT got like this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. The old TMNT comics and like that shit got.
I don't actually have a reference to which comic it is. So, like, either way, that blew my mind.
It's like a comic noir, like Batman, the old Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as far as film goes, there is a 13-minute short film that you can find on DVD, and it's probably just super ass. So I'm gonna just blow through that.
What's it called?
Nyarlathotep.
Oh, dope. Okay.
Yeah. So you can find them in traditional like board games, Pathfinder,
Monopoly.
D&D, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
There's a card in Yu-Gi-Oh. He's called the Outer God Nyarla. Like it's a dope ass card. Look it up if
Is
you're
he the
curious.
Monopoly man? Is he Mr. Peanut?
Yeah, sure.
Anything you guess, man, is a possible yes.
If you're gonna ask it, just assume I'm gonna say yes.
Or is he you?
Yes.
Ah, fuck.
So
I'm doing this podcast with an elder god. This whole time.
That's actually
the
working in
goal.
your favor.
You don't want to fuck with me, man. As far as video games go, this list is huge.
Huge.
I'll
He's a
name
final boss, and
yeah.
Go ahead,
so
go ahead.
he's in Call of Duty Zombies, known as the Shadow Man. You'll see him in there. You've got Dragalia Lost.
Before you go forward, Call of Duty Shadow Man. That's actually from the form he takes is the Haunter in the Dark.
Okay, cool. Good to know, actually.
Yep.
Yeah, so you've got Dragalia Lost, Dust, Free Space 2, Persona, Sam & Max, Sundered.
He's in Sam and Max? What
Yeah,
the
his
fuck?
name is his name and epithet of the Crawling Chaos is mentioned in Ice Station Santa, whatever that means. I've never played Sam & Max, so I could not tell you what that means. In literature, we just went through pretty much all of that.
Pretty much
with
all of it.
Jason. He's in a few light novels, which I'm not going to get into either. If you want to read Lovecraft, read Lovecraft.
Yes.
And then music, you've got an Italian heavy metal band called Belgilt. You've got a
Uncle Cracker have a song about Nyarlathotep.
a band called Burning Starcore with a self-entitled song of Nyarlathotep. Conan, the British death metal band, created a song called Foehammer, which depicts him.
Not to be confused with the talk
Belgian metalcore band called Congress did one. You've got a band called Flint Glass, experimental electronic music that does. They're all
There's so
basically
many.
called Nyarlathotep.
The biggest one I know of, I think go ahead. You got it.
Well, no,
You got it.
you,
You want me to?
Yeah.
I think I'm almost positive they're American based, right? Or are they?
I assume so.
I think so because I see shit from them all the time on Facebook and stuff. But
Okay,
there's a bit,
we might be talking about different ones, but go ahead.
the one I'm talking about is called Bow
Poosh-
Down.
Is it Pooh Shiesty?
Oh, that's
It's-
not on this list, but
Okay, well, Bow Down's a death metal band, and every one of their songs has to do with either a different deity, elder one, or a being in the mythos. They're super good.
I thought you were going to go into how Metallica has a song called The Thing That Should Not Be.
Yep.
And it contains the lyric, Crawling Chaos, Underground, Cold Has Summoned, Twisted Sound.
It's
Cool.
It's a very loose reference, and I don't know if they actually knew what they were
probably
trying.
not. It sounds great, but who knows if that's like an actual reference. But yeah, there's a bunch of other bands. There's an anime.
Yep.
What?
Yeah. Basically,
I
they
can't even
embody.
pronounce that.
They basically take all of the Cthulhu Mythos deities and turn them into cute girls.
Oh, kind of like
that,
that
actually.
Kind of like that High School of the Gods or
High
whatever
School
it's
of the
called.
Dead.
No,
But there's another called High School of the Gods where these high schoolers get imbued with the body of a bunch of
Of a
older
waifu?
gods. One of them gets the
Okay.
abilities of Thor, the other one gets Jesus, another one
Okay.
gets it's very weird, but apparently it's pretty good.
of Jesus.
I just remember
Your water is wine.
I can get nailed to a cross really
all the
well.
blood in your body is wine.
Yeah, we joke, but Jesus is the most deadly of them all.
That's
Dude,
my
he-
favorite thing to do in D&D is just fucking put water
Yeah.
in people's lungs.
Yep, shape water.
Anyways, that's all I'm going to go over as far as pop culture goes. There's so much other stuff that he is in. He's like I said, he's like the main villain in half of the
I wonder
fucking
if
games
Supernatural
he's in.
ever referenced him.
I'm sure.
I don't believe they did too much with the Cthulhu mythos.
I'm very surprised.
They stayed very cryptid as far as what they talked about.
I'm very surprised, they did, especially in season 6 when they got into Leviathan territory.
Well, I was actually just going to mention that they do have the darkness as a character,
Oh, yeah.
which is technically
Either Nyarlathotep or his son.
well his sister.
Or sister, that's what I meant.
So
They kind of do, kind
Kind
of.
of, yeah. And then they do have the Leviathans, which I don't really know. Do Leviathans technically count as a...
Well, they're in the Bible, so it's like...
No, they're absolutely Lovecraftian.
So they're biblical more so.
Angels are too, though, but those are
Yeah.
absolutely Lovecraftian as well. Like,
yeah, I mean, you name it, and it's kind of Lovecraftian at this point.
honestly,
but-
I'm finding most religions try to sugarcoat what is all fucking terrible. Like angels, to be exact.
yeah, absolutely.
Everyone has the idea of it. Have you ever seen a biblically accurate angel, Mike?
Oh, 1,000 times.
I mean,
okay.
yes, but there's also like 6 like tiers of angel.
But they're all super fucked up
well,
like
they're
that, though.
no, that's like the higher echelon of angel. The lower ones do be looking like people, but they don't like have really wings. And then other ones they do have the wings, and the other ones got like a third arm, and then the
And
tier
then it's
above
just a
that,
bunch
and
of
it's just- it just
eyeballs
gets-
45 eyeballs.
It starts off with the winged angel, and then
Yeah.
it just gets fucking worse and worse.
So the more important you are in the
Angelverse,
Christianity
yeah.
mythos,
The more weird you look, yeah.
horrible and abomination like you look.
Yes, I have a question
Cool.
for you guys.
What's up?
What's the cycle of Nyarlathotep?
I knew that was coming.
Nope.
We are not covering that because
No.
that's literally a
That's
collect.
like 45 different novels.
Can you,
that-
can
and
you
they're-
TLDR just what
No,
it is?
like no.
Because
So each Doug says novels. Honestly, they'd be more akin to like an encyclopedia.
well, I mean, like, are the novels called the cycles of Nyarlathotep?
the
or is
cycle
that
of
just-
Nyarlathotep is a collection of information.
Okay,
let's
that's
see
what I
if I
meant.
can-
Like, is
Yeah.
it like cycles of like
It basically
like the
goes.
weather?
It's
So-
a mythos anthology focused on the works referring to or inspired by the entity Nyarlathotep, edited by a Lovecraftian scholar, Robert M. Price.
Yep.
This book includes an introduction by Price tracing the roots and development of the God of 1,000 Forms. The
See, that
content
wasn't so hard.
includes list of 45 million books.
That's not that many.
No,
It's a lot. It's
can
more
knock
than
that
you
out.
think.
it's okay. So the collection of information on these being so you've got like the cycle of Nyarlathotep, you got the cycle of Azathoth, you got the cycle of Shub-Niggurath, and you got the cycle of Cthulhu. Those are the 4 that I know of as of right now. I'm sure there will be more, but as of right now, those are the complete ones that exist, and they are
They're all like 20 full ass books.
there's
Like think like encyclopedia books,
Literally.
not like a fucking like paperback.
It's an
book.
Encyclopedia Britannica of Nyarlathotep.
actually it's called the Encyclopedia Cthulhuania, but yes,
there it is. Nailed it.
Tasmanian Devil. What he said.
Yeah. Okay.
God, I have so much. How much medical knowledge do you think I could have in my head right now if I
If you
didn't
just
have
Didn't have
erased-
all this, dude. I was like, I'm like just sitting here, like us talking about it. Like it's funny because like it's like I know that we enjoy these episodes a little more than we need to.
Yep.
Because while we're talking, we're just like fucking info dumping. We're like not allowing any room for jokes to be happening.
No,
and
not
shit.
at all. But you know what? That's part of the fun of you guys are very excited.
Oh
about
God,
it.
yes. We honestly, I don't know why I took notes because like most of that was just fucking off the dome.
I take notes for the names because that's
Yes.
the best way to pronounce the names that I can't remember. Like I know most of this information, like here and there.
Yeah.
Like the lineage, I had to take notes on because that gets real fucky real quick.
I
But
don't even
like
try, but yeah,
I do know more about Lovecraft than I care to admit.
same. Absolutely. I'm starting my 3rd read through of that. A fucking complete fiction of
I'm
Lovecraft.
and I'm learning more as we go as well.
Speaking of, Doug, do you want to improv a quiz real quick here?
Oh no.
I got the first question.
Great, I'm a fail.
What year was the first time he showed up in writing?
Nyarlathotep.
1936.
No.
Nope.
Wait.
Was I close?
Kind of.
Kind of
Relatively.
in the grand scale. If you were to look at the entirety of human history, yes, you were very
1890s.
close. No, 1920.
Oh, okay.
1920 in the prose poem.
I knew it was the
Called?
poem.
Called what?
Nyarlathotep.
Yes, that one you got.
Yeah.
Good job, buddy.
Here, hold on.
Let's think of another one.
What's the
don't.
most famous nickname?
The Black Pharaoh?
No.
The Thousand Masks
no,
of Nyarlathotep?
that just describes his 1,000 masks.
Think about the Metallica lyrics.
The Crawling Chaos?
Yes,
There you go.
That is absolutely. Do you like this?
Really? You think that the Crawling Chaos is what he's best known as?
I mean,
it's not that we think that. That just
That's what he is?
It's just kind of
Yeah.
what he's
Oh,
referred to. the
I always,
most.
whenever I think of Nyarlathotep, I think of the Black Pharaoh. I don't think of Crawling Chaos.
But that's because we talk like Doug, Doug and I know way too fucking much about like the backstories and the histories and shit. And the reason we talk about the Black Pharaoh so much is because, at least to me, I don't know about it. I'm not gonna put words in his mouth. To me, like that's the like where it all started.
Well,
with him.
to me, the name gives off pharaoh vibes. That's why I think. I think if you went to like, if you came up to a,
So
I think if you came up to a person like me and was like, "Hey, what do you think Nyarlathotep looks like?" They're probably gonna be like a fucking mummy. That's what I'm saying. Like peanut gallery people probably think more mummy than they do crawling.
But that's the thing though. Like he also, so he is in the Egyptian pantheon as well. Like he is an Egyptian god.
Yeah, technically
under a different name, and you're actually going to find this a lot. Like I actually just found information that shows that both Christianity and Hinduism both outline Azathoth as a being. Obviously a different name, but description to a fucking T.
What was that shit you found out about the Vatican?
Oh, dude, that's what I'm talking about. In the fucking
That's what I'm talking about.
In the Vatican's fucking locked secret-ass library, you can find banned books that go over the creation of the universe. And they go over, like, specifics and shit. Do I believe this information? Not really. I'm going to have to see it for myself.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is, in the Vatican's books, in this fucking the banned book they have, I have no idea what it's called, but it goes over and it describes Azathoth as God.
Love it.
Which I always knew that the Christian God was a vengeful piece of shit God.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how closely related to Azathoth he might have been. So
Crazy how Tom Hanks didn't find that while looking for the Da Vinci Code.
You can't win them all.
Yeah.
Or when Nick Cage stole the Declaration of
I gotta get the Declaration of Independence.
Well, no one would know this just off the top of their head, but Color Out of Space was actually a sequel to National Treasure.
Yeah.
Do you think Nick Cage is some sort of Cthulhian or Lovecraftian
At this
being?
point, yes.
For sure. It's for sure Nyarlathotep. He's just having a good time right now.
See, I was going to say Yogg after...
Since the internet came out, he's like, I'm just going to fuck around for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We're in this weird, 1,000-year period where he's like, I want to just kick it back, for
now he's
bit.
making a movie where he is himself, which is fantastic.
He's like, how can I fuck with these people?
How
Let me buy
Nyarlathotep is that?
Let me buy 2 castles. Let me
A T-Rex skull.
Giant pyramid in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Let me buy a tomb for myself before I die.
25 grand? Yeah.
Yo. Pyramid tomb. Nyarlathotep.
Pyramid
The
head?
Black Pharaoh. Nicolas Cage is Nyarlathotep.
Look at
Nice.
that.
Hell yeah.
We fucking logicked our way through it.
Well, that's
That's
all
it,
I
though.
got.
Got it.
I
You
mean,
got no more-
we have more, I'm sure.
There
but
is a ton more, but it's all like we went over like the fundamental basic information of anything you need to know about Nyarlathotep to either use him in a Call of Cthulhu or Dungeons and Dragons campaign, to go read about if you're interested in it, like just the basics.
Are we done with questions for Michael?
you're off the hook for now,
All right,
I think.
dope. No,
Unless you had another question.
No, I actually am thinking that question's better for the next time we do this.
Dope.
Yeah, gotta use his brain power.
Yeah, brain not move good.
That's fine.
Mike, you want to take us out of this bitch?
I do
Yeah.
want to take us out of here.
Actually, while you do that, Doug.
Yeah, clink and
Oh,
drink.
yeah.
You know what? We'll wait. We'll let the people do that. Everybody, we're gonna give you like 2 seconds here. Find some sort of beverage near you. Doesn't have to be alcohol. If you're above age, make it alcohol. If not, go grab
Drink
some
milk.
expired milk.
Worst case scenario, spit in a glass and drink that.
Yeah, there you go. Speaking of, are you drinking enough water?
Yeah,
Did you take your medicine today?
Drinking water today? Have you eaten enough?
God damn
I
it.
just like how every time you say that, you look at me with the most gleeful face, like you're a proud papa.
You
drinking water?
You gotta make sure your loved ones are drinking water and eating enough food
And taking their
And
medicine.
and eating ass as much as they can.
Hey, you tomorrow. You're gonna rock it at work tomorrow.
You're gonna eat ass tomorrow.
Anyway, when you hear the clink, drink. Here's to you, here's to me, and if we ever disagree,
Come on, her.
I can't even take this shot. God damn it.
well, linktree.com/deludipod. You better you can find us anywhere. You can find us anywhere at DelutiPod, or don't look under the internet. In the link tree, you can find our merch. That's going to be weird soon. You're going to find.
I think Mike's done for the
Blow
night.
past that.
You're going to find our Discord in there as well. Go to the Discord. It's popping. Review us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts because we need those so other people see us. And boy, did my ego need other people to see me. Remember, people, we're at 150 Spotify reviews. If we get to 200 pretty quick here, I'm going to have Doug take over the Twitter for a day, so you'll see a lot of porn.
You might get those fax holes that
A lot of porn.
my God.
That's all I really got. YouTube, Don't Look on the Internet, is doing pretty well. And again,
Yeah.
you can find us anywhere, DelutiPod, or Don't Look on the Internet. Just fucking look it up. That's all I really got. Oh, buymeacoffee.com/DelutiPod.
Hey, there it is.
It says coffee, but we're going to use it for liquor. And then patreon.com/DelutiPod. We have been discussing,
Oh, yeah.
changing up some tiers, adding some stuff. So get in there while it's hot.
Do we just want to be transparent about like what we're talking about real quick?
We could.
We literally not 20 before this episode. Literally discussed what we could do. There's some events that happened that are making us rethink some things. There are some tiers that we want to add. We don't have anything in concrete.
No, we just started talking about this because of what happened. And I think we've got one SCP episode in the banks.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
after, we're still debating if we actually want to release it at this point.
Yeah, there's some controversy with SCP we don't want to go all into, but it is one of those things where it's like,
I'm hoping it blows over.
yeah, the big problem is
Doubtful.
the website
Same.
itself, the SCP wiki is under some trouble, and that's where we got a lot of our information for SCPs. So it's like,
Fuck
do we
it,
want to continue?
I'm ripping the Band-Aid off.
Sure.
Essentially what happened is a writer was found out. Basically, a writer was using SCP Foundation, either subreddits or the site itself, the wiki itself, to message minors, being an older man.
And allegedly, we're going to allegedly.
We have no facts about this. I read
allegedly.
the statement they gave.
Yes, they
it
kept
seemed
them
pretty-
on
it's-
for.
They kept
them
them on for
the
too long.
site for 2 years until they finally got rid of him. And apparently, allegedly, because I'm not a lawyer, they had evidence for years proving that he was doing some, creepy pedophile stuff.
It's controversial as fuck right now.
And to be fair, we don't stand that shit.
No.
Yeah,
So we have to be very,
we love doing the SCP
cautious
stuff.
about what we do right now.
Yeah.
We're monitoring the situation. We want to do what we think is right, which obviously would be to quote unquote, for lack of a better word, boycott the website for now.
It's not even like we're actively giving them money. But
no.
Literally by just talking about it and being excited about some of the content on there, we're sending traffic their way.
Yeah, we love the SCPs.
We don't want to promote any institution that knowingly keeps pedophiles employed, because that shit is fucking heinous.
And again, we don't know the entire story. Everything's allegedly.
Yes.
I don't want
no
lawyers
hard
coming
facts.
at me. So allegedly.
Right.
So until we hear more, we're gonna just kind of leave things
Play
where
it by
they're
ear.
at.
Yeah.
But we might, worst case scenario, we change our $7 SCP tier to something else, which obviously no concrete plans. We don't know what's going to happen yet. If you are a $7 tier Patreon, we would love to hear what you think.
Absolutely.
Because there's only 3 of you.
Well, and I guess the $10 tiers that listen to the SCP episodes as well.
They don't get it. It doesn't matter. They get all.
They
of our
get whatever
content.
whatever we throw at them.
Yeah,
they just
they're
get
gonna
it.
get it
If you
anyways.
listen to our SCP content, let us know what you think. Because again, we want to keep doing the SCPs, but
We
don't
love
wanna-
doing them.
We don't want to support this site, and it does seem like this site is really like the only one that has backlogs of every SCP out there
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
hard to find the information
outside of that
anywhere
wiki.
else.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where
You can find some fan fiction porn that I stumbled across earlier.
I mean, we can always go on YouTube and try finding things on YouTube, but
Yeah.
then we don't get it's not as easy to do because we
worst fucking case scenario, we make several trips to the back rooms until we figure it out.
Yeah, right. There we go. But yeah, like Jason said, we do have one in the backlogs that we may release just to get it out there as like potential final hoorah. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. But again, if you listen to the SCP episodes, let us know what you think would be a good idea for potential tier replacement, or if you want to give us your opinion on what you think this situation means for us, what we could do. Keep us updated.
Yeah, like we already threw around a couple ideas. Like we're also like Mike just said, we want to hear your ideas. Like, what would you like to hear us talk about, kind of thing. Like something that has a massive amount of information readily available for us to talk about
for free.
A massive amount of really cool creative information for free for us to talk about. That would be fucking great.
We could always do a backrooms corner.
See, dude, that's like,
why you're.
That's not a bad idea.
It's
actually.
not. There's so
we could talk about
much.
hopefully. Well, no.
There's the ongoing
information, but
there's the ongoing YouTube channel that's doing it. There's literally millions of levels,
exactly,
all with detailed information about it. So like,
we have ideas.
We've got some ideas we're tossing around.
We could possibly change it into a Cthulhu corner. We could possibly
do
talk
movies.
About movies like
actually, guys, let it just bombard us. Tell us what you want to hear us talk about.
Send us a text or a voicemail that we're going to play at the end of this episode.
I just opened up the Discord and they're all saying backrooms bullshit.
And then last thing I want you all to do is just take a tooth. I don't care where you found it. Brush it off. You found it. Thank you. Give me that one.
There you go.
Thank you. Take a tooth like this one. This fat one I have in a jar that Doug got me.
It's a real human tooth.
Real human tooth right here. I'm holding it in my hand because it's that damn fun. See, proof. Ready? That's a big boy.
That's a thick one.
Yeah.
It is.
Take a tooth anywhere you find it. Plug your butthole with it. And then just kind of see how the day goes. That's all I got.
I'm going to go ahead and say stay paranoid. If you see a small, like, frail-ish man walking around your house that looks like he's holding his hands and he's got, like, a pile of something in him, that's just Mike trying to stuff teeth in buttholes. So just let him.
Please,
Be paranoid, because otherwise he can't get turned on. But, from there, just let it happen.
And I'm going to say, if you're ever presenting your being to someone who's like tall and slender and smiling a lot, and a man, just any man, be real cautious. It could be Nyarlathotep trying to fill you with his horrible, terrible offspring.
Also, don't talk to anybody named Wilbur Whately.
Yes, be wary of Wilbur Whately.
Yep.
But yeah, if you otherwise beans, peens, and automobiles.
Kiss your dad. Kiss your dad.
And I think we're done here.
Kiss your dad.
I think we have.
I think we are done.
Yeah. This is a message for Finley. 01001 011 011 011 001 All right. Yeah, Jason, if you could just read that to Finley. Yeah, I wouldn't decode. All right, yeah, bye, later.
Don't look under the internet.